trying to make sure. Hold on 1 second. There we go. All right. I think my mic is on. I think. And so I don't look like a complete idiot, make sure to let me know if it's working. Oh, how are you guys doing today? It's um it's been a crazy time, right? So I'm just gonna wait a little bit and kind of let some people get in here, and yeah, we'll go from there. Maybe, maybe. Got my water because my throat be getting dry all the time. As a matter of fact, so I can make sure I'm paying attention to the chat. I'm actually gonna get my glasses. Oh man, he's looking filthy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh, man. Also worked out not too long ago, so I'm feeling a little bit feeling a little bit not tired, but just a little bit, you know. But gotta keep the boys toned and stuff. So all right, let's go ahead and start getting into this discussion. So with the new Doctor Strange movie that's coming out, which by the way, which movie are you guys more excited for? The Batman or Doctor Strange? I know I'm about to get a lot of hate for this by saying this, but I'm definitely looking forward to the Batman more. Not just because he's my favorite hero, it's more of the fact that, for me personally, I've been looking forward to more solo superhero films. Like, don't get me wrong, the MCU is a wonderful creation, and the multiverse possibilities for Doctor Strange 2 is just so fascinating. But I would be lying if I said that I didn't miss movies that weren't a part of like an extended universe. So the Batman is definitely not going to be doing that. And I'm excited to see something like that again, especially something that's going to be different and unique from more modern superhero films. The question after Doctor Strange is, will multiverse movies or multiverse media get old really fast? Because I have a feeling it will get old really fast because everything is doing multiverse nowadays. We had a multiverse movie that came out that hasn't have anything to do with superheroes, but it was still a multiverse movie. They were trying to capitalize on that multiverse industry. Like that's just like in the same thing with the Flash. They're doing a multiverse Flash movie. Like this is just I feel like there's a little bit too many multiverse stuff going on that it's gonna get just old fast and it's not gonna be working out as well as studios will hope, honestly. And that's what I think about that. So I mean that's just my opinion on that. But either way, I mean maybe one more if they do it right will work, and that's with Doctor Strange, but who knows? Who knows? This is why you guys see why I edit my videos the way I do, because I drink a lot of water because my throat gets dry easily. I don't really talk that much, if I'm being honest, outside of the camera. I mostly just keep to myself, but that's just me. So, with Doctor Strange, there are a lot of multiverse possibilities that are going to be happening. And I have clues and evidence of why these certain people are going to be in this movie. First of all, with the whole X-Men stuff, I don't think they're gonna bring the X-Men into the MCU in the way that they're describing, or they may very well do it where at the end of the movie he fails and the multiverse ends up like getting mixed up and stuff, which would explain Morbius why we see the Vulture and Morbius, even though that's from the MCU. There are possibilities here, and there's things that they could possibly be doing that would be interesting. But even if they don't bring the X-Men in there, I do have a feeling that these two people are going to be in there, or at least one of them that I'm most certain about. Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, I have a feeling that he may end up in there for a short time, or an extended cameo, kind of like what No Way Home does. It's not as dramatic, but I'm kind of doubting that because Hugh Jackman, I feel like he's just done. He's done. He's done with the role. But Charles Xavier, I have a feeling that he's going to be in the movie because the actor who plays him, I'm sorry, I keep butchering his name or keep forgetting his name, but he actually met up with what was it, Disney one time, or he said he had like an interview with them, and basically he said after that he said that they came to him and he didn't say anything else after that. Um, so I have a feeling that they met with him to talk about. I think they met with him to talk about this movie and to talk about coming in and making a cameo as Charles Xavier again. And the reason why I say that is because I heard rumors and speculation that the Illuminati from the Marvel Universe is going to be in this movie. And the Illuminati has its own kind of Avengers team. And a lot of the characters in those are the ones that I'm going to be talking about now, who potentially is going to be in there. But Charles Xavier is definitely going to be someone that I'm almost 100% positive is going to be in that movie. And plus, I think I saw something leaked that it said X-Men and something else. I don't want to give away where I got it from because I don't want this person to get in trouble. But I did see something about the X-Men in a future MCU thing, but not in a solo thing. I heard that it was like in a movie cameo. I'm pretty sure this is where he's going to end up. So that's what I believe, honestly. So I mean, what do you guys think about Charles being in this movie? I mean, it would be great to see Professor X again, especially as someone who's grown up with that character. Um, Although with the X Men films, the Fox films, I will say personally, I never loved all of them. I do think that some of them aren't really that likable to me or rewatchable. I think the first X Men was a good starting point, but I don't think it was a great movie or really that good. I think it was just decent enough to kind of get it starting. X2 was good. X3, I personally think was good. Had the best action, had a lot of interesting ideas, just not executed as well as it could have been. But my favorite was actually Days of Futures Past. I feel like they got a lot of things right with that. Sure, it makes the timeline a little bit confusing going forward, but it actually did make I think, a legitimate X-Men film, and that's something I like. Although I will say though, if you're asking me what my absolute favorite is, it's easily Logan because I feel like they got the character of Wolverine 100% right, but at the same time trying to change up the old man Logan story, which we're used to in the comic books, and they do it in a way that it's kind of like a western, but with superheroes in there or super powered people in there. So that worked for me, especially with the mutants, and it was basically based on real events, not real events, but real life things like civil rights movement and all that stuff. Especially the character of Charles Xavier and Magneto. Charles Xavier is supposed to be like Martin Luther King, and Magneto is supposed to be like Malcolm X. I'm not sure if you guys knew that, but that's the original intent. So I do love that they try to ground it more in the Logan movie, and it actually worked out very well for me personally. I'm not sure about all of you. I know it's a very depressing film, but ultimately I think it's well shot. Music's great, the story is amazing, and this is the perfect send off to a character that I've adored, and that is Wolverine. But talking more on who else is in this movie, I do think that also they're probably going to bring in Tom Cruise as Iron Man because I think I saw in a comic book cover or a couple of comic book covers that there was a Iron Man, a part of that team as well. And if the rumors are true about this movie, then I believe they're going to bring in Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise originally was supposed to be the original Iron Man before Iron Man came out, but instead they decided to cast Robert Downey, and I think that was a perfect choice. Robert Downey's always gonna be the best Iron Man. to me personally. But I do feel like if you're going to bring in variants and stuff like that, maybe Tom Cruise would be a pretty cool variant and kind of a cool Easter egg for a lot of people who didn't know, or a lot of people who do know about that character or know about the history of him supposed to be playing Iron Man before. And it would be a really good opportunity for that actor to finally get to play the character, not to stay, but to kind of be there for a short amount of time, not overstaying his welcome, not doing more than he needs to. Because at the end of the day, I feel like the thing that they need to realize too is the reason why Spider-Man No Way Home worked was because it was still a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I never liked like any of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies up until No Way Home, but I feel like they finally did his character right in that movie and finally made him into the Peter Parker he needed to be. And at the end of the day, even though it had all these multiverse elements to there, it was still a Spider-Man movie, and it was still deep, a very deep movie. So they need to realize that with Doctor Strange, because this is a Doctor Strange movie, and you cannot take that away from the man. You can't do that. So honestly, they need to make sure that they're balancing all that correctly and not overdoing the multiverse elements when this is also still a Doctor Strange movie. So I never liked the first Doctor Strange movie, but I did like elements of it. I thought everything else after that he was amazing. So who knows? Maybe third time the charm for me. Man, see, this one made my throat begin dry all the time. So next person I'm thinking could potentially be in there as well is not exactly all of the Fantastic Four. I did hear rumors that Sue Storm is going to be in the movie, or at least a variant of her from the original Fantastic Four movies. But I feel like if they're really going to do it like the comic books where they have their own separate team of the multiverse, they're going to bring in Reed Richards, the original. And I would love that because honestly, I never thought the first Fantastic Four movie was terrible. I mean, a lot of the elements to it, yeah, you could say it's bad. But I thought it was a generally like kind of fun super movie. I thought it was about a decent film. If you're looking at it too heavily, it's definitely gonna be a bad film to not even a film category. So honestly, I mean, I thought it was fun. So to bring back that Reed Richards, that would be a really fun thing to do and kind of. And I'm pretty sure that people, even though they didn't like those movies, if they see this guy, I'm pretty sure they're gonna applaud. I mean, come on now. Even Tobey Maguire haters, which I love Tobey Maguire, my favorite Spider-Man, always. But Tobey Maguire haters, they like even people who said, "Oh, Tobey Maguire is the worst Spider-Man," they still ended up applauding when he showed up in No Way Home. So I'm pretty sure this dude's gonna be fine when he comes back as Reed Richards. So I mean, again, like I said, I don't think people are also as appreciative for stuff until it shows up later. So I don't get it. But yeah, there's so many possibilities that are gonna happen with this movie. So many things that could potentially happen, and it does have me slightly more concerned because this is going to be tackling more of the multiverse than what No Way Home did, and ultimately that could take away from the character. I mean, you have Wanda, you have Doctor Strange, you have Wong, you have all these other characters, Morgo, or Mordro, Mordro, whatever his name is. Yeah, he's supposed to. Yeah, you have all these different characters in there, and a multiverse, and a big creature, probably the Illuminati, probably all these other characters. It does have me slightly concerned, but I mean, it's Marvel. They know how to balance some stuff for the most part. I mean, I don't know what happened with Shang-Chi, but don't kill me in the comment section. Actually, there is something that I was looking at, and I saw the interview of the three Spider-Men together, Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and there was something that the guy who was interviewing them brought up. He was like, "So Sam Raimi was giving you nothing but praise in this newer one." He was like, "Oh, I never saw that," and he got quiet a lot after that part. Tobey Maguire did, and a rumor I've been hearing is that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man will be in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So I think this could be true because Sam Raimi's directing this one, and it would be really cool to see Tobey Spider-Man back. And I think that would be something that would be, again, another fan service moment. But in my honest opinion, I don't think it's really needed. I mean, it would be cool to see Sam Raimi direct Tobey Maguire again. It really would. I loved about two thirds of the Spider-Man movies of the Tobey Maguire era. The third movie, I don't know what happened. I mean, I don't hate that movie, but I don't like love it either. I think we can all agree that the memes that came out of Bull Maguire are justifiable. I mean, come on now. When you get a symbiote on you, I mean, you start like in anime bangs and you start dancing around going, ooh, baby, ooh, ooh. Like, like, and he starts dancing on the table, and I don't believe for a second that the symbiote came down to Earth. And again, Peter never was established to have any piano skill powers. I don't believe that the symbiote gave him the power of jazz. I don't buy that for a second. So, come on now. Again, like I said, I didn't love the third movie, but I thought it was serviceable, and I admittedly liked it more than Homecoming and Far From Home, but, that's just my opinion. But I will say, though, that, yeah, it would feel really out of place for Toby to show up again. But, I mean, I wouldn't hate it, but at the same time, I feel like that there's already so much going on in this multiverse movie that it wouldn't be as needed. It wouldn't be needed. And that's my concern for a lot of stuff because what I've seen from early screenings is that they're saying it's insane, it's absolutely bonkers. But my concern is that there's going to be too much going on and too much stuff thrown in there. For example, like you're gonna like I'm hoping that they're not trying to set up like a million different things in one movie when this should be at the core still a Doctor Strange movie. So that's a potential problem. And that's something that is concerning, very concerning. So we'll see. I mean, it's Marvel. I trust them about 80% now. I mean, they kind of lost my trust after I saw Shang-Chi. Which, again, if you guys haven't seen my Shang-Chi review, I guess I'll leave it in the description or something. But what I said in that movie was also something that I don't want them to do in this one is follow the exact Marvel formula. And that's something that Shang-Chi did, where they were like, hey, let's have the first half be unique and different. And I loved the first half, but the second half, it went into that MCU format where it was like, okay, we have to introduce new elements, new characters. We have to have this CG battle at the end with the army versus another army. The big CG creature that was just introduced to be at that exact point. Or to have elements of this happen at the end where you have to set up these other movies and set up these other spin-offs and have a cute creature in there for kid effect, the buy as a plushie, like Baby Groot. We have like this furry creature that just shows up out of nowhere. Like stuff like that just is laughably formulaic to me, and that's why I said I haven't been enjoying the MCU as much recently. But No Way Home was an exception. But they gotta change some stuff up, which is why I said I'm more excited for the Batman, where it's more of a detective noir grounded film about a dude who dressed up in a bat costume rather than a multiverse flying across different universes and experiencing different things and battling a big squid monster. Like, like I'm more excited to get back to something that's a little bit more solo and a little bit more grounded. Like that's just me, but the potential possibilities of what this could do is great for what I think, but like I said, they have to execute it right. If they don't execute it right, it's going to be a problem. And I haven't been as impressed with Phase 4 so far. Only one movie I can say I really, really liked a lot. But that's out of what, 4 movies? What was there? There was Shang-Chi, there was The Eternals, then there was No Way Home, Black Widow. I forgot about Black Widow. Jesus, that's not good. I forgot about Black Widow. Trying to remember what else came out. I think that was it, right? That was it. There was 4 movies. Yeah, so that was 4 movies. Uh, Out of all 4 of those, one I thoroughly enjoyed. That's concerning. That's concerning. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people aren't gonna notice a lot of problems because they go into these Marvel movies expecting to just be entertained. But just for me personally, I love movies that make you think and allow you to kind of enjoy the story along with the elements that are there. The reason why, uh, what's his name again? Oh my god, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Never do a video on empty stomach, people. What was I gonna say? Uh, no, not Robert De Niro. Who was that one dude? One of you guys let me know down below or in the chat what was that dude's name who said that Marvel isn't cinema. Um, I disagree with him, but at the same time, I can see his point when it comes to movies that are just blind action and they don't allow people to get out a story that's thorough, well handled, and enjoyable. I can see his point of view when it comes to that. But at the same time, like I said, you can't discredit everything that you see. Which, again, I'm telling you guys right now, I am not an MCU hater. I actually think the MCU is a beautiful creation. A lot of the movies I thoroughly enjoy. A lot of them. Like, some that I probably shouldn't. Like, Thor the Dark World, I didn't think that was bad. But the ones that kind of just don't really say much to me personally, I don't really thoroughly enjoy that much. Uh, Especially ones that are promising to say something when they start off the story. Like that's yeah. Especially when it comes to like Wonder Woman like 84 and I'm bringing up the DC films to be fair. Wonder Woman 84 at the beginning it promised to say something at the beginning of the story, but it didn't and it didn't do a good job. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. But I will tell you this. Uh, I'm still glad to go see this one, but I'm just not as excited, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not like to the point where my heart's racing. Like that. That's for the Batman right now for me. But not really that much with this one. So, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Also, I'm not entirely sure what their plan is overall with Phase 4. Um, like, I know some directions that they're going in, and I'm not agreeing with what they're about to do. Like, you guys will know when it happens. I'm not going to say it now, so you ain't coming after me right now, because I know all you guys are about to be like, you're wrong, and then be like, Isaiah, you're right after that. But what directions do you guys think that they're gonna go in? Like for another Avengers movie, what do you think that they're probably gonna do? I'm entirely clueless at this point. They could do Kang the Conqueror. They could do a lot of the extra stuff. They could do Galactus. Galactus. They could do Adam Warlock. They set him up in Guardians 3 or in Guardians 2, which that would be interesting if they had him show up in Guardians 3, but they could do him as well. They could also do what's that dude's name again? Shoot. See what I mean? I'm not the biggest comic book fan. So, uh, yeah, I'm like I said, from an average viewer point of view, like I can also take both sides of a comic book viewer because I read quite a bit of comic books. At the same time, I'm also an average viewer too. So, that's why I said I get both sides. But it's interesting. Like, what do you guys think they're gonna do? That is just it's confusing to me, or it's like I'm not entirely sure what Marvel's gonna do now because Thanos was a very big threat, and of course, you're gonna have to find a way to one up that and potentially try to do better. But at the same time, how do you do better without messing some stuff up or doing a formulaic, this is the strongest opponent of the week type of thing, you know, like that's difficult to pull off. And Thanos was an exception to that. How are you going to do that with somebody else? That is almost an impossible task. And the same thing I said happened with shows like Dragon Ball Z, where they introduce an opponent that's just stronger somehow, and they have to get stronger. Like that's starting to become a bit weak now. So how are you going to do that with the MCU? That's my question. Like that just seems like something that's almost impossible to do. So will they figure it out? Yeah, I don't know, but who knows? So I'm also going to talk on some other news about the. I guess this is a good time to talk about some of the other stuff I want to talk about too with the Marvel shows. Um, why can't we? Like, I've heard that there's a Hulk movie in the works, which, from what I've heard, it's supposed to be off the planet. Which we're getting a Planet Hulk movie now when he was on another planet in Thor Ragnarok. Like, it's confusing what they're doing with the Hulk now, and that's a big issue I've had with the MCU is they've been trashing on my boy the Hulk because like he's just like he went from one of the strongest Avengers to now being like literally nothing now. Like that's so disappointing to do with this character, and it makes me like I love Mark Ruffalo's version of Bruce Banner, but they need to bring back Edward Norton's version of the Hulk, like where he's actually something a little bit more serious. And don't start complaining like, oh, the MCU did the Hulk perfect. No, it did not. Like what they did with the first Hulk movie in the Incredible Hulk, that was perfect because the Hulk is a little bit more of a serious character, but he does have some fun along the way. They had one serious moment with him, but then they had a lot of fun around him all the way, and then they started dogging the man out. And all the Hulk creatures after that point have all been nothing. The Abomination got beat up in Shang-Chi with one hit. One! And it was from himself when he's taking hits from the Hulk that had probably been harder when he got angrier. That it's just they've been dogging on these people all the time. And watch, they're about to have She-Hulk come in, barely know how to use the thing, use her power, and somehow she's gonna be able to beat up Abomination and be like, "Oh, you're nothing." Watch, I bet that's exactly what's gonna happen because you know a lot of female Marvel superheroes that they introduce out of nowhere, they just know how to do stuff automatically, and you know, like for example, Shang-Chi, they had the sister, like she should have been the one who beat the bad at the end because Shang-Chi's the master of kung fu, but she didn't even practice anybody growing up, and somehow she's 10 times better than him. And she was like, I trained myself to be better than men. You see what I'm talking about? Like, I don't get it. Like, the MCU, it's, like I said, it's a great creation. I love a lot of movies, but there's some stuff you gotta admit is just straight up stupid, man. And, you know, I'll do separate videos talking about those if you guys really want me to. Um, Even if you don't, I'm still making them. But, yeah, that's all I want to talk about right now because I feel like we talked about everything we needed to, and I got my Doctor Strange news out and my points. So yeah, this live stream has been awesome, honestly. Mostly just ready to go eat too. So all right, well. I got a couple of new uploads coming up next week. I actually finished my Batman Forever movie review. Well, not movie review, but it's title of the video is going to be called Batman Forever is a good movie or a good film. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. I also have the 89 Batman movie that I'm going to be reviewing. I'm basically doing a ton of Batman stuff going into when the Batman comes out on March 4th. So I'm really, really excited to talk about this stuff. And I'm really excited for you guys to see it. You guys have been awesome. You guys have actually jumped past what I thought I was going to be jumping past, especially this time of year. Last year, in December, I had about 95 subscribers. at the end of this month, I have 135. So I've actually gotten quite a bit since then. And I appreciate all your guys' support. And you guys are awesome. Make sure to let me know what more I should be doing on the channel, or what type of videos you guys would like to see down below in the comment section. And I'm not dumping a bucket of pee on myself. I'm not doing that. And I'm not giving out free money. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys liked the video, or should I say live stream, make sure you go decide. I cannot talk. That's what I mean. I stumble over my own words sometimes. If you guys like the video, make sure to subscribe today. Oh my god, I butchered it again. If you liked the live stream, make sure to subscribe today to join the Azilization. Good God, this is so difficult.